scenes from today's episode of Liberty's Kids.
Liberty! Down with the king! Freedom! Hurrah!
We'll drive these pesky rebels into the river and have our troops home in time for Christmas.
British regulars! They're right behind me!
They're running? Why are they running?
Because they can't fly.
July 9, 1776. Dearest Mother, where to begin? James Henry and I have been in New York City for a week now. General Washington, the commander of the American Army, has been busy fortifying the city and harbor, and no wonder with the arrival of the British fleet. What a sight! Some say there are so many masts that it looks like a floating forest. You were so kind to ask Mrs. Radcliffe to give us lodgings. They are quite restful.
Down with the king!
I'm sorry I cannot say the same for New York. Ever since the reading of the Independence Declaration on the 7th, it has been a city gone quite mad.
King George III!
Henri, stay here. You're nothing but a magnet for trouble. Anywhere you go, bad things happen.
Do not.
I think you'd better listen to James.
You two are just jealous because I have more fun than you do.
Down with George! Independence!
Of what possible good is a broken statue?
I heard they're taking it up to a cannonball factory in Connecticut.
And why on earth would they go to all that trouble?
General Washington told his staff that he intends to return the lead in the statue to the British troops as soon as possible.
Seems pretty boastful. General Washington's been Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army a whole year and has yet to fight a battle.
I think he'll get his battle soon. A big one.
General Howe, your telescope, sir.
There. That's where we'll strike General Washington and his army. On the heights, we'll drive these pesky rebels into the river and have our troops home in time for Christmas.
I thought you would be more comfortable eating here. Nowadays, the streets are so unsafe.
This collar is unsafe.
I don't know where all those dreadful persons on the street have come from. I've never seen them in this neighborhood before. Shh. Out-of-town troublemakers would be my guess. As Mr. Radcliffe used to say, this rebellion business will soon get out of hand.
I'm sorry I won't get to see Mr. Radcliffe this trip. My mother used to enjoy his stories.
You said he's in... Canada?
Yes. Seeing to some timberland we are thinking of buying along the St. Lawrence. Well, I'm just glad the British fleet has arrived. The sooner General Howe puts things right, the sooner we can all get this silly revolution business over with and get back to normal.
Oh, boy.
Why were you making those faces at Mrs. Radcliffe's?
I couldn't stand it. Seeing to some timberland we're thinking of buying along the St. Lawrence.
Stop that. It's impolite.
I saw a list of Tories at General Washington's headquarters. Mr. Radcliffe's name was on it.
You don't mean the army is going after private citizens?
No, but some other private citizens might. And I think Mr. Radcliffe and some of his friends thought it best to leave until things blow over.
I don't think things will blow over very soon, if our Henri has anything to do with it.
Hey, careful!
Sometimes And I think Henri believes this is all just a big party for his benefit.
Sarah, don't look now, but I think someone has his eye on you.
Oh, don't be foolish.
Awfully busy, isn't she?
Yes, she thinks she's a journalist.
Miss, allow me to introduce myself. I am Udney Wolfe Hutchinson from Milford, Connecticut. My comrades in arms and I have arrived to defend this city, and ladies such as yourself, from the cruel, vindictive English.
I am English myself, sir. Does that make me cruel and vindictive as well?
I was only repeating terms some of our rougher members commonly use to refer to the enemy. Whether they are cruel and vindictive or, gentlemen, they are soldiers, and I offer my strong arm for your protection. Forgive me. Duty calls.
You've got to be kidding. Didn't he say his name was Ugly?
It was Udney, and you know it.
Phew. Where are you going?
With you and the soldiers over to Brooklyn to watch the battle.
Sarah.
I'm a journalist too.
Remember? Concord? Your promise to Ben? Dr. Franklin, I won't put myself needlessly in danger.
What is it with you and your need to imitate people?
All right, let me put it this way. You can't go.
You're not my mother.
She's right. You're not her mother.
No, but I'm responsible to Dr. Franklin, and he's responsible to her mother. Besides, it's too big a story for both of us to be in one place. One of us needs to report on what happens in the city. Let's face it, you're more comfortable with tea and crumpets than me.
I must admit, James, occasionally, you're right.
General Washington sends reinforcements to the fort on the heights at Brooklyn to counter a large force of British troops heading for Long Island. All right, I'm going to Washington's headquarters.
What about me? Can I go?
No.
We'll see about that. Sarah, who's that waving at you?
Oh, it's that. Henri?
General Putnam informs me that the British are moving up the Gowanus Road and Hessian troops have been spotted on the Flatbush Road. But there is still a substantial number in camp on the beach. I don't have to tell you what is at stake here, gentlemen. Everything worth living for.
None of my boys will disappoint you, General. They'll throw the redcoats back onto their boats.
General, if I may, this Jamaica Road concerns me. It's presently undefended.
The enemy is here at the Gowanus Swamp. And that is where I'll strike him.
Lord Sterling, I wonder if I could ask you a few questions.
Yes, General Washington told me about you. Franklin's apprentice.
Does it bother you that a good portion of the enemy is made up of Hessians?
Well, son, the enemy is the enemy, whether they're British troops or German mercenaries hired to fight by the British.
But to have no other reason to be here than to fight for money. No cause, no country, no freedom at stake. It doesn't seem right.
I think you'll find they have as many reasons to be here as we do. Now, if you will excuse me... Gentlemen, I have a special mission in mind. I need volunteers. Paid volunteers.
I'm
in? Sure. What's the mission?
In the interest of fairness, I think the readers of Dr. Franklin's newspaper should understand the thoughts of those loyal to the king.
That's a dangerous point of view to have these days.
Well, nevertheless, I'm interested in what you think about the revolution. I'd keep your name out of it.
I think it's a dangerous, foolhardy adventure. Why do they want to fight to create their own country?
They feel England has mistreated them.
I've read this Declaration of Independence. Is it worth going to war because the king called for their legislative bodies to meet in uncomfortable places?
That's just one of their reasons.
And the men who signed it